Hi, today we're going to work on 1.3.5 documenting a design. We're going to start off with creating a customized tool block for a drawing. Then you are going to open up an existing project that you created previously, and we are going to put that into a drawing using our new customized title block, and you are going to also dimension it. So let's get started. We have Fusion open. We're going to go up to File. We're going to go down to New Drawing Template. When you get over to New Drawing Template, you want to make sure it says From Scratch. You want ASME, inches, and size be 17 inches by 11 inches. I'm going to click OK. Okay, it automatically brings you to the placeholder view. We're not worried about placing a view yet, so we're just going to go over here and cancel out of here. Here is our title block. We want to change this. This is the default one. We want to customize one just for us. So I'm going to hover over until everything is highlighted. And then I'm going to right click. I'm going to go down to Edit Title Block. When I go to Edit Title Block, I have three options available for my source. The first option is from existing. The second option is from scratch. And the third option is from DWG file. We are going to use the from scratch. When we use from scratch, we want to name this IED title block. We're going to call it V1. And we'll click OK. Takes us into the panel to go ahead and create our title block. This is basically our paper, our sheet. Right here, these corner edges here are the corners of the paper. So first thing I want to do is I want to change my line width to 0.25. I want to make sure all of my options are still checked: show border, show layout grid, and snap to grid. I'm then going to go on up to my line tool. I'm going to click on my line tool. I'm going to go to my lower left corner right here. Let's make sure. And I'm going to click right there. It's my first point. I'm going to drag across the bottom of the page to the next corner. And then I'm going to click again. I'm going to right click and select OK. So I basically just traced that bottom line of the paper. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up to Modify. I'm going to go up to my Move tool. I'm going to click on that line I just created. And you'll notice in your dialog box, it shows that you have one selected. I'm going to click on Transform. I'm going to click on that again. And I'm going to bring it on over. You'll notice it's a little bit off to the side when you first do it. And I want to bring the left edge of my line to the left edge of my paper. And I want to bring it up to where it's at 1 inch. So if you look, it says relative polar 1.0000. That's where we want this. Our title block is actually going to be about 1 inch tall. That should be fine. So I'm going to click there. Now right click and click OK. Okay, so now I'm going to use my text tool. I'm going to go on up here to text. Come on down here, and you might want to kind of zoom in at this point. You want to make sure you're not clicking in the corner, any of the corners of the edges. You want inside of that box. So I'm going to click right there. I'm going to drag out a little bit. Now I want to type in project. Oops, project. Okay, I want my height to be for this 0.25. And I want to make this bold. I'm going to go ahead and click close. Go back, double click, okay, and click close. And I'm going to drag this. I want to kind of center this right around here. Center between the top and the bottom. Now I'm going to go up to attributes. Attributes are used to kind of let the program know what is supposed to go in that spot so it autofills it. I'm going to click attribute. I'm going to click right next to where I typed in project. And in the attributes up here, we have some different selections. We have a custom, which we will be using. But right now, we're just looking for the project name, and we have that option here. So I'm going to click on project name. I'm going to leave everything else the same. And I'm going to click close. Actually, let me go back. I want to change the height to 0.25. And then I'm going to click close. Now I'm just going to kind of click this and drag it down so it is even with project there. Okay, next thing I want to do is I want to put a border line here before I put the next part of my title block. So I'm going to go up to my line tool. I'm going to go to the left edge of my paper. I'm going to click at the bottom corner. I'm going to drag up to that line that I created there. I'm going to click, right click, and OK. Now I'm going to go on over to my move tool again. I'm going to select that line that I just created. Click transform. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to move this over. I want this at about 4 inches. I think 4.0100 is about the closest we're going to get. So I'll click there. And then I'll select OK. The next thing we are going to put in here is going to be the title. So the project name is the project, or the project is the project folder it comes from. The title is the name of the actual file itself. So we're going to go up to text. Again, I'm going to click right in here and drag out a little bit. And I'm going to type, title. Now I want this to be 0.25 again. And I want this to be bold. I'm going to click close. Then I can click and I can move it around so that I have it kind of lined up with the project. We're going to go up to attributes again. We're going to click next to our title for the attribute. For attribute, we're going to look, and I do have a title. It says title 1. I want to make this 0.25. And I'm going to click OK. I'm going to go ahead and kind of drag this down so it's kind of even. Okay. Now, I'm going to slide this over a little bit because I'm zoomed in. I'm going to put another divider line here. So I'm going to draw a line over this line. And I'm doing this so that I can get my spacing right. So now that I've drew that line, I'm going to go to move, click that line. I'm going to hit transform, click the line again. I'm going to bring it over. And I want it to go out to about 3.75 this time. 3.75, and then click OK. Now before I move on, I'm going to draw another line that's going to divide this area in half. So I'm going to go up to my line tool. And this we did when we were doing the constraints. Now follow this line down until I find my midpoint, which if you remember is that triangle. So click, I drag all the way across, and click on that side, and OK. So now the first thing we are going to do here, I lost my place here for just a second. Let me see where I am. So we have title. Now we're going to, do text. You might need to zoom in a little bit more again. We're going to do a box. We're going to say drawn. And we want to keep that 0.12. We do want to make this bold. I'll click close. Oh, and I want to kind of bring that in a little bit. There we go. Now I'll click close. Draw on. I'm going to bring this down. I want to try and center that right there. I'm going to go up to my attributes. I'll click right next to it. And we want the drawn by for this one. This is who actually drew it. I'm going to click close. And I'm going to bring this down like that. While I'm still here, I'm going to do another attribute. Right after drawn by, just a little bit after that, I'm going to go back up. I'm going to do drawn date. That way it'll automatically populate what date it was drawn. I'm going to click close, and I'm going to drag this down so it's pretty much even with what we already have there. Okay. Now below here, I'm going to do text. And I'm going to do checked. I want to highlight that because I want to bold it. Then I will click close, and I will move it over so it's centered. I'm going to do an attribute right next to it. So we do not have an attribute for checked by. So I'm going to custom, and we're going to say checked by. This is the person that would be checking the drawing to make sure it's accurate. I'm going to click close, and I'm going to go ahead and set it like that. We're also going to do a checked date. So I'm going to go back up to attributes. Right after checked by, I'm going to click custom. I'm going to do checked date. Click close. I'm going to bring that down. Make sure it's kind of lined up with everything else. Okay, so let's see what we got so far. So if I zoom out, that's what our page is looking like so far. I'm going to put another divider here because we're done with that part. I want to put a divider. So I'm going to go back up to my line tool. Oops. Back up to my line tool. I'm going to draw a line right here. I'm going to copy this line right over the line and do OK. I'm going to go up to my move tool. Click on that line. I hit transform. Click on it again and drag it over. And I want this, we'll say, right about 4. Close. There we go. Right on 4. Look at that. Actually, let's see. Can we get, we'll do 4.25. We're going to do 4.25. We'll click and we'll click OK. I've just got a couple of things left to put on here. So now I'm going to go up to my text. Right here, I'm going to go ahead and put in my box. And I'm going to put sheet. And I'm going to put the pound sign for sheet number. I want to highlight this so that I can bold it. Close. I'm going to bring it so it's kind of centered there. I'm going to go up to my attributes right next to it. I click. And we do have, where is it? A paper size, sheet number right there. I'm going to click on sheet number and click close. I'm going to drag this down so it's kind of centered there with it. Okay. Now, before I move on, I'm going to draw a line here. I'm going to draw a line right about here. I'm going to kind of eyeball the halfway point between these. And click OK. Now, next to this one, I have sheet number. Now I want to put sheet size. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to type in the word size. Highlight and bold. Close. And I'll bring that down. Try and center it like the others. My attributes. Right next to it. And we do have paper size here, and that's what we're looking for. So we're going to do that. We'll click OK. I'll move it over and make sure it's... Oh. kind of where it needs to be. Looked better before, but oh well. Okay. And then the last thing we're going to do down at the bottom right here, we're going to do scale. And of course, we're going to highlight and bold it. And we're going to go up to our attributes, click next to it. And we do want drawing scale. We'll click close. Let me see. I forgot to center this, bring that down. Bring that. That's about good. Okay, so now when we zoom out, that's what we see. That's what we need. We need a project, a title, drawn by and drawn date, check by and check date, sheet number, size, and scale. So now I'm going to go ahead and click Finish Title Block. Okay. And I'm going to now go on up here to my file, and I'm going to click Save. You want to save this as IED Title Block V1. And you want to save it in your project folder, your Unit 1 project folder. Whoops, I got my cap locks on. IED Title Block V1. There we go. You want to make sure it's saved in your Unit 1 folder, and then you will click Save. Okay. At this point, you can close that. What we are going to do now, you're going to open up a previous project that you did. This was from the, go over, what's it called again? Where is it? Let me find it. It must be in a different folder. It should be in your Unit 1 project folder. I have multiple Unit 1 project folders. So you want your 1.2.5 sketches, extrusions, and revolutions. You're going, if you did not do that, you're going to have some issues with this activity. So you want to go ahead and double click to open that object. You can close your data panel. Once you have that object open, you're going to go up to File. You're going to go to New Drawing from Design. Okay. When you get over here, down at Template, right now it should say From Scratch. You want to change this. You want to find your IED Title Block V1. If it's not here, you want to go to Browse, and you should be able to find it in your Unit 1 project folder, and then double click it. And everything should default to that, and you're going to click OK. And wait a moment. Now, notice you have your base view, so we're going to go ahead and place the base view. This should be your front view that you're looking at. If you had your view cube correct when you were doing this, this should be your front view. We're going to place it right there, and then we are going to click OK. Now I'm going to go on up to my toolbar under Create. I'm going to go to Projected View. I click on Projected View. I'm going to click on my front view. Then I'm going to drag up, place my top view. I'm going to drag to the right and place my isometric view. I'm going to drag down and place my side view. And then right click and OK. Your side view and your front view should look the same. Next thing you need to do is you are going to go ahead and put dimensions. So the dimensions you are going to do, so up here on your toolbar, you'll see a tab that's called Dimensions. This is the dimensions you want to use right here. It looks like there's a sun in between two lines. So we're going to click on that. I want you to get the height from down here to up here. So you click on the bottom, you click on the top, and you drag out to the right. This is the largest dimension, so you want to drag it out a little bit. Then I'm going to drag from this level to this level and drag it out. Okay, so those are my two heights. And then I'm going to go from here to here, and I'm going to drag this up. Again, this is my largest dimension for this direction, so I'm going to take it up a little bit. And then I'm going to go from here to here and bring it up. Okay, so you should have a total of 4 dimensions on your front view. Then we're going to go to the top view, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit because it makes it a little bit easier sometimes. You're going to do 2 dimensions on your top view, and those are going to be diameters. So if you touch on the outside edge of this, you'll notice the diameter dimension automatically appears. I'm going to click. I'm going to drag it out just a little bit. Then I'm going to go where the dotted line is. It's the hidden line. Typically, we do not dimension to hidden lines, but I really want you to see how this works. So we are going to do this. We're going to click here, and we're going to drag out. Oh, it's not doing it. Hold on. Cancel. Let's try that again. Oh, okay. And then we're going to bring this out a little bit there. Okay. This would be, let's see, if we did, it should be the same. There we go. We can also do this one here. There we go. And we'll make a little bit of room. There we go. So actually I want 5 dimensions on your front view, 2 dimensions on your top view. And once you have this, you need to go ahead and save. We're going to do File, Save. You're going to, it should automatically default to 1.2.5 Sketches, Extrusions, Revolutions, Drawing. Make sure it is saved in the correct folder, which would be your Unit 1 project folder. If it's not, go ahead and find it. Whoops. Oh, hey, come on. Click Save. Now that it's there, what I want you to send to me on Canvas is this drawing. Okay, so you're going to do that by going, where is it? File, share, no, not a link. Print. And you're going to do printer name is going to be print PDF or PDF. Okay. Current sheet. I'm going to do fit to paper. Orientation. Make sure your orientation is set to landscape. Okay. Orientation to landscape. And then you'll click print. When it comes up, you will then save it to your OneDrive. So you'll find your OneDrive. Find the file that you save all of your information in. And you're going to call this, was this one? Let's see, I forgot what activity this was. 1.3.5 documenting. Click save. And that PDF is what you will submit in Canvas. And that is everything for today.